is.
Right, right. We will soon arrive at Garrigmach Monastery. Forcing a surrender here is extremely significant, both strategically and symbolically. Of course, this is personal as well. This is where we all came together to learn and grow. I have no intention of yielding to our former classmates, so I ask that you prepare yourselves for anything.
I'm not thinking about friends right now, and I'm certainly not prepared.
Damn it, don't go around saying things that lower morale before we even get started. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's fight.
I have nothing to lose aside from my friends who are here with me. Does that answer satisfy you?
I have been ready for this since leaving my land of home. I will fight and win.
How can you prepare to fight? Maybe I can prepare to prepare.
There is no reason that I should not be prepared. It is my duty to stand up and battle.
Thank you all. Now, let's talk strategy.
As the raiding force, we will attack the area nearest to the monastery. The Knights of Seros certainly won't stand down after they catch sight of Her Majesty and the Professor. At the same time, the remaining areas will be surrounded and annihilated by the main army. In other words, we are the decoy that must suppress the enemy's most elite soldiers.
We know more about the area near the monastery than anyone else in the Imperial Army. Still, we must prepare for the worst. It's possible we will have to face the Archbishop's true form, the Immaculate One. Fight with all you have, but don't be reckless. As promised, I will leave the command to our professor.
Naturally. With both Her Majesty and yourself on our side, defeat is impossible.
This will be our first battle as the Black Eagle Strike Force. All the more reason to prevail.
Welcome! Is that the one? Thanks a bunch. Thanks a bunch. Come back soon. What? Is that the one? Thanks a bunch. Come back soon.
Friends, our opportunity for victory will come. But first, we must see to our defenses.
The city's defenders are trying to stall for time. We must crush them swiftly. We should be wary of ambushes as well.
Ladislava is being pushed on the left flank. We must push back with equal force.
Stay focused.
Should I have held back?
Getting stronger, all.
Battle.
I'll go.
I am Ferdinand von Ayer.
As you wish.
Ready anytime.
I will get the victory.
To work. I will prevail.
That's my cue. You were wide open.
Helpful. Not so fast! You saw that!
That won't do at all.
Now! Hidden soldiers, attack! I'll show you!
One more success. Hard work.
I'm a bit uneasy.
Yeah!
Huh? It worked out.
Many skills, you know. Not...
Your defeat was inevitable. Another one down.
You fought well. Victory is assured! You should be honored.
I'm impressed.
Just what we need. I knew Her Majesty's allies would help us out.
Back to the fray. I will show no mercy to anyone who attacks Rhea.
I'm sorry.
Silenced.
That is that.
get ahead of myself. I could have been sleeping.
You're weak.
Flame Spirit, protect me.
Failure is not an option.
Not so fast! Coming!
I'm getting closer.
show you a plan.
Another threat down. Not what I was hoping.
Appreciated.
You know your limits. It's a long road yet.
Unfortunately, you must die here. You should never have defied the goddess. Not enough! No! Child's play!
I cannot yield!
Zenith, please! Do not overextend yourself. I am still in this fight.
I'm sorry, Flame. Withdraw if you must.
No obstacle will stand.
Growing
I shouldn't strain myself.
Appreciate it.
Perhaps it's...
You shall not pass!
Not enough!
Battle?
I will get the victory. I shouldn't strain myself.
Well done.
Sweet of you.
I'll go.
I am Ferdinand von Eyre. Stay focused.
You shall not pass! I will protect Garreg Mach! That's my cue.
To work.
All roses have thorns.
I will prevail.
lend the Empire strength.
Don't worry, we're allies now. I understand you must have many questions, but they'll have to wait until after the battle.
In my master's name, I cannot allow myself to fall here. I must withdraw.
Seteth, Flame, Gilbert, you put your lives on the line to protect us. I would have preferred to have more time to prepare, but we cannot delay any longer. Come forth. Protect Garreg Mach Monastery from those despicable rebels.
I'll crush them all.
Her enemies are my enemies.
So you have sullied yourself by joining the rebels? I hope you came prepared to breathe your last!
Not worth the risk.
dare you betray me? You worthless piece of garbage! I will punish you myself!
Let this be a lesson.
I will not allow Garrick Mach or my mother to fall!
You will not be forgiven!
Professor, look out! The castle is crumbling! We must escape! Professor, take cover!
Professor!
In Imperial Year 1181, the new Adrestian Emperor, Edelgard von Hresvelg, led a strategic assault against the monastery at Garrick Mach. Though her own losses were great, her foes had no choice but to surrender. Archbishop Rhea commanded the Knights of Seiros, leading from the front lines against the Imperial army. After a hard-fought battle, she was forced to retreat to Ferdiad, the capital of Fargus, where she must now plan her next move. With this single attack, the Adrestian Empire officially launched its offensive against the Holy Kingdom of Fargus and the Leicester Alliance. The unification of Fodlan has begun. Part 2. Crimson Flower. Ethereal Moon. Beyond Escape. It is Imperial Year 1185. Half a decade has passed since Emperor Edelgard ascended the Imperial throne, yet the continent of Fodlan still remains lost in a tempest of turmoil and bloodshed. In the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, King Dimitri has welcomed Archbishop Rhea and her knights, who were driven out of Garrick Mach to the kingdom capital. As they work to build a unified front, the war with the Empire rages on to the west. Meanwhile, Claude, leader of the Alliance, staves off Imperial intervention by strategically stirring up conflicts between Leicester lords in an effort to feign neutrality. As events unfold, Edelgard and her Black Eagle strike force begin to take action in an attempt to break the war's current state of deadlock.
You. How long do you intend to sleep? Your body is awake. Your eyes must open now, and you must find the strength to stand upon those legs of yours. Like so much rain, a pool of blood has fallen to the ground. As spears and arrows pierce the earth, it weeps. And even now, it weeps. In order to survive, they kill. And so the people of this world are lost in an abyss of suffering. They weep as well. The only one who truly knows the nature of such things is I. Or rather, you.
You are a complete and utter fool! Have you not changed one bit? Get on your feet. Right now. I'll coddle you no more. You are just like a child, always needing me to hold your hand.
Hey, are you awake? We're in a village at the base of the monastery. What are you doing in a place like this? I honestly didn't expect to find someone floating away down the river.
Garreg Mach is upstream of here, but that place was abandoned.
Huh? You don't know? The Church of Seiros isn't there anymore. Though, there have been some folks still living there in the 5 years since... well, you know. Regardless, the Imperial Army has taken over now. Are you feeling alright? You didn't hit your head or anything, did you? It's the ethereal moon of the year 1185. It's been nearly 5 years since the monastery fell. Tomorrow was supposed to be the Millennium Festival, but who's got time to think about things like that? Yeah, that's what I said. But with the war and the Archbishop still missing it all, I doubt there's a soul to be found who has enough blessings worth counting. Hey, slow down, will ya? Where do you think you're going? Are you crazy? The Imperial Army is there. Come on, I promise I won't say you're a coward. Just forget about going anywhere near the monastery. You just remember I tried to stop you, got it? It's not on my conscience if you wind up dead. Unbelievable.
"5 years ago to the day. If things had continued on as they were, today would have been the Millennium Festival."
Halt! Who's there?
It can't be. Professor? Is it really you? But I searched everywhere and never found a trace. My teacher. What have you been doing all this time? Where have you been? Joking? At a time like this? You do realize it's been 5 years since you disappeared. Do you have any idea how guilty I felt? How broken my heart was? I searched high and low after you vanished. Although there was no proof, I somehow knew you were alive. All this time, I led everyone as best I could, and fought with all my heart. It's been a difficult path to walk alone. Welcome back, my teacher. I'm so happy that you're safe. 5 years. Such a short time, but it feels like an eternity ago. Do you still feel the way you did all those years ago? You said then that you would fight at my side no matter how many enemies we should amass. As for me, my resolve has not faltered. I'm determined as ever to see this through to the end. I will defeat the false goddess. I will save this world from those creatures and give humanity its freedom back. So, my teacher, are you prepared to stand with me? I thank you. Truly. Now then, I assume you understand the situation at hand, yes? Another joke? Or are you telling the truth? I suppose you must be. In that case, I'll tell you all that has transpired as you slumbered these past 5 years. And that is where we are now. The war is at a stalemate. Dimitri is the new king of Fargus. It's clear that his territory will continue to support the Church. Meanwhile, Claude's leadership has thrown the Alliance into chaos. He maintains neutrality in their internal conflict. The situation has created a deadlock. We've been awaiting an opportunity for our squadron to return to the monastery. With you in the fray, I believe the state of the war will shift immediately. The Church, as well as the Kingdom and the Alliance. The time has come to eliminate them all. Rhea, Seteth, the Knights, and the others are in prime condition. They've set up their base within the Kingdom capital. The Immaculate One and her family have yet to fight on the front lines. However, we must eventually face and defeat them. It would mean a great deal to have you with us when the time comes. Good. Well then, I believe it's time for a little reunion. The Black Eagle Strike Force never lost faith. They knew you were alive and have been awaiting your return. Let's not keep them waiting any longer.
Well now, that face is certainly familiar. I am glad to see you alive and well, Professor.
Professor! It's me, Bernie! Do you remember me? I can't believe you're here!
I can't believe it! Is this a dream? Can we really be this lucky?
This is not dreaming. Our professor is with us again. Welcome to the back. I mean, welcome back.
Our group isn't the same without you. I am overjoyed to see you again.
It's been so long. Seeing you again fills my heart with hope.
Great! Now everything will be easy. That's great you're safe, Professor. I'm deeply, deeply moved.
Quite the reunion, isn't it, Professor? Everyone's happy to see you.
Come on, Edelgard. You must be happier than all of us combined. She took it really hard when you disappeared, Professor.
Of course, we did our very best in your absence, and there was never a day that we doubted you would return to us.
Edelgard has been leading us as Emperor. But after you disappeared, it became apparent that you were her anchor. It gives me regret to be admitting this, but our power is not enough. The only one who can be meeting Edelgard's expectations is you, Professor.
Most impressive of all is your uncanny ability to bring a smile to everyone's face.
In the years since you vanished, we have not lost anyone from our ranks.
We all longed for your presence and your leadership, myself included.
It seems fitting to view this as a new beginning for the Black Eagle Strike Force. We already have our target.
Yes, we must eliminate the Alliance before moving on to fight the Kingdom and the Church. However, that doesn't necessarily mean we must occupy the entirety of the Alliance. House Regan stands against the Empire. Therefore, our target is Deirdre, the aquatic capital.
We must cross the Aramid River, which separates the Empire and the Alliance. To do that, we must take the largest bridge across it. The Great Bridge of Myrden. Myrden connects the monastery and the Imperial capital to the east. It is the shortest route there.
An Alliance stronghold has been built at the Great Bridge. We'll take that and then head north. At the same time, we must defeat the one who defends it, Judith von Daphne. If we can also take control of Daphne territory, it would be greatly beneficial to us. Prepare yourselves. The next battle will be a momentous one. Join me, my friends, as we begin our journey to bring peace and solace to this war-ravaged world. Our voices are all over the place. We must learn to work together in harmony.
Not sure I should sing with everyone. I'm not great at harmonizing.
So I said, two can play at that game. I told him, a small-time little weasel like you ought to be begging me for attention. Oh, it gets me so mad, so worked up. Why aren't there any men around here who understand what a catch I am? Come to think of it, you've always been nice to me. I mean, you listen to all my problems. I feel like I can really trust you. I don't have that kind of thing with a lot of people. Right, I got it. I knew you'd say we were just friends. I'd like to maybe talk about this once the war is over. Once we're all safe. All right, enough of this moping around. What we need is a change of mood. We've still got a lot to do together. When I think about that, what are one or two men? What's wrong is, it's not just one or two men, it's more like 100 men, maybe even 200, more! I'm completely... Oh, I can't get out of this mood! Actually, I've got an idea. Exercise will help. I'm going to the training ground. Come on and give me a hand. Gonna work my anger out on 100 training dummies. Maybe 200 if we've got 'em.
Easy.
Well...
can't believe how long it's been since I left home. Since I was dragged out of the house, I mean. 5 whole years. It's weird to think about. At first, I remember I was desperate to go back, but now it's the opposite. I have friends here, and I have you. The monastery's become a second home to me. Back then, I never would have dreamed a day like this would come. It's all thanks to you. You've given me a second chance at life. If not for you, I never would have gotten used to leaving my room, let alone the monastery. Maybe the battlefield's just dulled my senses. I'm much better with strangers and new places now, though. I don't panic nearly as much as before. What? Independent? As in, alone? That sounds like a tough assignment. Where did this come from all of a sudden? Hey, hold on. You're teasing me, aren't you? Please don't joke around like that anymore. It's torture for me. You're still not taking me seriously. I mean it. Promise me you won't do that again. Friends respect each other's feelings, don't they? Good. I'll hold you to that. You're absolutely not allowed to send me out anywhere on my own. Got it? You would need to come with me. If you're with me, I can go anywhere in the world. No, that defeats the purpose. Why can't you get what I'm saying? I thought we were finally getting close. Guess I'm not good enough for that, though, am I? I'll let you have this one, but you better be ready for next time.
We've come such a long way. After all, I was only 4 years old when we first met.
From your perfect memory, Lady Edelgard, I expect nothing short of the utmost precision. Do go on.
Please don't mock me with such frivolous praise. I can hardly recall that day.
Forgive me. I suppose I must have been 6 at the time. I have no recollection of it. My earliest memory of you is of when you were injured. I recall being scolded most sternly by my father. "You are Lady Edelgard's servant," he said. "You must protect her with your life."
I had no idea. but House Vestra has served House Fresfelg for generations. Given that, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised.
Indeed. After that, I made certain to accompany you wherever you went. That is, until the incident.
Ah, when my uncle, Lord Arundel, defected to the kingdom and took me with him.
The sensation of loss that overcame me on that day defies all description. It was as horrific as if I'd lost all my limbs. I left the city in a mad rush to rescue you. My father sent soldiers to capture me. I fought them off for 3 days, but they did finally manage it. Of course, I was only 10. I never would have reached Ferdiad.
I've never heard that story before. So there are things you've never told me.
It wasn't important.
That's beside the point. I wish to know these things. If there's anything else you're keeping from me, please tell me at once.
Respectfully, I decline.
Why? It's a simple order. I really must know.
Speaking of your orders, there was a task you gave me earlier which I have yet to carry out. Excuse me.
Wait just a moment. I just hope he's not hiding anything too worrisome. Standing tall, I see.
Edelgard, hello. What do you think of this horse? An equine marvel, no? Look how intelligent he is. You can see it in his face. Certainly much smarter than your horse.
Oh, what a lovely bloom.
Behold, Edelgard. Do you see this blood-red bloom? This is much more impressive than the pale little sprigs you have there. And as I'm sure you know, redness symbolizes courage and strength.
Ferdinand? Stop. I can't believe you're wasting my time with a petty one-sided rivalry.
What are you complaining about? You told me not to publish my pamphlet, and I complied.
I've had enough of your foolish antics. Very well. I will grant you the duel you so desperately desire. But when I win, you must forfeit the right to bother me with your ridiculousness. Forever. Do we have a deal?
Ah, so you'll fight me after all? Wonderful. To battle, then! All right, Edelgard. Have at me!
As you wish. Ha!
It only took you one blow? How?
I can't afford to hold back against an opponent like you. I led with my fastest, strongest strike.
Fastest and strongest? You're just flattering me. I have been defeated. Utterly. I cannot believe I was foolish enough to challenge such a plainly superior opponent.
The difference in our skill level is not so great as all that. If you had taken the first strike, you might have won. That's why I didn't give you the chance.
I do not think talent is what separates us so much as readiness. I had not the faintest idea of what to expect from a real duel. I was playing, but you were not. That such an ill-prepared noble would think to challenge you? It is laughable.
Ferdinand. Linhart, I finally found you.
These structures were built more than 1,000 years ago and still remain. Amazing. Most interesting, there's a pattern to the saints' emblems carved into each of the sarcophagi. Here, you'll see if you come take a look.
Perhaps another time. Right now, I have something to discuss with you. You've said before that you don't care about the usefulness of your research. After giving it some thought, I decided that I'd like to create an institution for crest and relic research, and I'd like for you to lead it. All you would need to do is carry out whatever research you like. Somebody else will decide how to make use of your findings. What do you think? I imagine such an environment would suit you quite well.
Let's be clear that I have my reservations, but I suppose I'll take you up on your offer, if you insist. although I'm unsure if it's a good idea. If my research dries up, you'll be stuck with a worthless institute. I do hope you understand that, Your Majesty.
Why are you skeptical about my proposal?
It's because all I've ever cared about is following my own curiosity, wherever it takes me. Being head of some institution and researching as part of an organized team sounds like no fun at all. At that point, it's not research, it's just a job, and one I've been practically forced into at that. However, since I know you've put a lot of effort into preparing this opportunity for me, and since I like you well enough, I will, begrudgingly, take you up on the offer.
Well then, I suppose I should be grateful. But I'll be honest, I see little point in bringing you on board if you're so troubled by the idea. Let's put this idea on hold for the moment. I'll figure something out for you by war's end. I have great respect for your talent, Linhardt. I'm certain I can find a way to make use of it that's to your liking.
I have been watching you in secrecy, Edelgard. But you and Hubert were noticing me, correct?
Well, if you intend to shadow us like that, you can be sure it won't escape our notice. Hubert was primed and ready to remove you. I ordered him to stand down.
You have my thanks. I have been making a decision that I am wanting to learn from you. I was thinking it was enough to be shooting one bird with one arrow. But after speaking with you, I trained with hardness. Now I can be shooting 2 birds with 1 arrow.
2 pheasants? Are you implying that...
Yes, a single arrow.
That's astounding, Petra. It's perhaps a bit late to explain now, but what I was getting at earlier was actually...
I am having a joke.
You... come again?
I really was shooting these birds with 1 arrow, but my joke is that I did have understanding about what you told me. I took it to my heart.
Did you now?
You are a person with great bluntness. I am admiring of you. As an emperor, a commander, a warrior, and a friend, you are excelling at all that you do. All of the Empire is resting on your shoulders, and that is including Brigid, too. I will not be falling behind you. I will be carrying Brigid on my shoulders, too. And one day, you and I will be facing each other, and we will be shaking hands.
Yes, that much is certain. I can see that you no longer need me to look out for you. You and I are much the same. We dutifully shoulder our burdens and stand tall no matter what. It would be foolish of me to deny it.
Your words give me great joy. And it also gave me joy to see you being flustered when I was showing you the birds.
A cheap trick, to be sure, but inarguably funny. To think that you went to all the trouble of shooting 2 pheasants at once for the sake of a joke. Well played, Petra.
We both are growing every day. I hope we will keep doing so.
Ah, young Edelgard. This is your first time in this room, yes?
That's right. When I was a student, I avoided this place. I couldn't allow the church to learn of my crests, after all.
True enough. But now you have come here by your own choice. Can I take that as an indication that you have come to trust me a little more?
I suppose so, though I'm still bothered by certain things.
Tell me, what things might those be?
Well, we're fighting to free the world from the Church's control and to unify Fodlan. You must have some idea of what the world I'm seeking to create will be like.
With the world freed from the powers of crests, Fodlan's system of nobility will collapse.
Precisely. Our current system is founded on the fact that crests are inherited through blood. If we shatter the status quo so that those without crests are no longer at the mercy of those with them, the very concept of nobility will vanish.
Why should that have any effect on me? I am no longer a member of the nobility.
Perhaps the fate of the nobility is of no consequence to you. But what about that of crests? You've devoted your life to unraveling their secrets. Whereas I seek to create a world where crests are no longer valued. In fact, I would prefer to rid the world of them entirely if at all possible. Does this not concern you?
I see. I think I finally understand why you've always seemed so unsure about me. You imagine your ambition might crush my dreams. I assure you, there is nothing to worry about. I support your plans and your ideals wholeheartedly. But at the same time, I also believe that the influence of crests will not be so easily quelled. That is why I must continue to research them and unravel all the secrets they hold.
I see. Professor Manuela, may I come in? This room, what happened here?
Oh, nothing out of the ordinary. Why? Is something the matter?
No, I just... can I help you tidy up? Actually, I have to know. How did you make such a mess in the first place?
Please don't ask for the details. Suffice to say, my room always looks like this after I've been dumped.
Oh, right. Well, let's see what we can do about it.
Your help was unexpected, but appreciated, Edelgard. Now, what can I do for you?
I heard that you haven't been acting like yourself, so I came to see if you're doing all right. But the moment I saw you, I could tell you were troubled, so it seemed pointless to ask.
I suppose it was rather obvious, wasn't it? Perhaps I should stop being quite so dramatic. All the same, dear, I'd like to repay you for helping me out. Name your prize.
I don't need a reward. But if you wouldn't mind answering my question, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Of course. What is it?
I once asked you why you chose to retire. You said that the goddess supports you emotionally, but it's up to you to take care of the rest. I have to admit that I don't quite understand what you meant by that. Can you please explain?
Did I say that? I suppose so. From joining the Middle-Franc Opera Company to becoming a diva of the grand stage. I went through so much to achieve what I did. Looking back, I don't know how I made it.
What happened during that time?
A lot. My divinely gifted voice only got me to the edge of the stage. From there, I had to work hard to defeat my rivals. I did all of this by myself, through sheer force of will. All so I could stand center stage.
Ah, I see I was wrong about something. I thought that being a devout believer implied a certain weakness of spirit, an inability to survive on your own. But you've proven me wrong, Professor Manuela.
How did you know Dorothea was an orphan?
I hear she buttered up some noble and he enrolled her in the academy.
She's higher ranking than us lot. How disappointing.
I suggest ignoring them.
Lynn, don't scare me like that.
You seem less scared than surprised, but that's quibbling, I suppose. As for those two gossips, unimportant. I suggest forgetting all about them and their petty words. Join me for a meal. I've been the target of a lot of gossip, and eating generally makes me feel better.
Don't pretend we're the same. If I could brush it off so easily, I would.
It doesn't seem particularly difficult. Where's the problem? Is this about your pride?
No, not even a little bit.
What then?
Lynn, please just go away. I want to be alone right now.
That's fine. But your life is your own business. It's not something that can be affected by the petty words of a stranger. Sorry. I kept talking, didn't I? I'll stop now.
Please do.
Dorothea, I want to be asking you a question.
Oh, please do.
Why have you come to Garreg Mach? Is your goal different from the rest?
Yes, I suppose. Everyone here is an heir or an heiress, but not me. I'm just a commoner. When I enrolled in the Officers' Academy, I was different than everyone else. I wanted to secure my future, and my big idea was to marry money. Ever since, I've been dating different, terribly well-to-do men, searching for a good one. So far, there's been no reason for a second date.
Marrying money? That is not sounding like a good idea. Money would be a bad husband.
Pretty much.
But you treat me well. I have so much gratitude. Why do you show me such friendliness when I am not money?
Oh, no, Petra. This isn't like that. I like spending time with friends. It's wonderful being friends with you. And I hope we can stay close for a long time to come.
Yes, I have that hope too. But I have also been thinking of who is good for me.
Oh, I see.
And still I am thinking we should be friends.
Oh, I know why. Because we're both trouble for Imperial nobility.
Yes, we both have troubles.
Feels nice, doesn't it? Knowing that together we can irritate that many people. Since we've already got a lot in common, let's get to know each other better, shall we?
You're following me. Stop.
I am leaving you alone, just as you asked. I may be walking the same way as you, but...
What do you want?
You've made it abundantly clear I'm not to want anything from you, including politeness.
I heard a rumor that you're planning to settle down with a noble. I abandoned my family, so you'll have to look elsewhere. Not much to gain from marrying me.
I just find you interesting is all. Is that so odd?
Interesting? I'm not interesting. What do you mean?
I've never met a noble so... unsociable. Yes, that's the word, unsociable. Other nobles are quick to be friends, even if it's just because they might gain something from it.
The Empire's nobility, maybe. The Kingdom's nobility is a whole different animal.
If they are, so what? You should care how others think of you.
Why? I don't answer to them. All that matters is improving my skill. I'll prove my worth on the battlefield. Those people care so much about appearances they can't even see each other. It makes me sick.
Oh, I agree. What's important isn't how someone looks, it's their true nature. I don't pretend to know your true nature. I don't even have a very good understanding of my own. But I suppose you see mine just fine, don't you? Just a silly girl with no thoughts in her head except for marrying a noble. Yes? Goodbye, Felix.
Shamir, can I be having your time? There is a thought that is giving me great concern.
Let's hear it, Petra.
If Dagda is ever invading Fodlan again, what will you be doing?
I'd join the army of Dagda. I'd lay waste to Fodlan and return to my homeland.
If that is the truth, Then I am having one more question for you. If that was happening, would you be fighting your allies in the Imperial Army too?
Of course. You expect me to die for you? You should be prepared to do the same. Your homeland would likely join Dagda.
So, that is your truth?
Maybe. If you'd asked me 5 years ago.
Hmm?
I've been a mercenary since childhood. Always fighting for a bounty. If my allies didn't pay, I'd side with the enemy. It's why I became a sniper. Easier to dispose of anyone with a reward on their head. It's also why I joined the Knights of Seiros. I owed them a debt. But that's all changed.
You are not fighting for money now?
That's right. When I see everyone fighting for Fodlan, I feel inclined to help. I won't die for the cause, but I will protect everyone. If the army of Dagda engaged you, I'd fight at your side.
Hearing that is it gives me great joy. Until the war is finished, let us fight together. Right.
My father used to be a knight in service of the royal family of Fargus. For a time, he was at the monastery, but apparently he's back in Fargus serving as a knight again. Which means, if I fight with this army, I'll eventually have to face my own father. Terribly. But I've accepted my fate. I'm ready for anything. Of course, if at all possible, I would prefer not to fight my father. This is the path I chose. I have no regrets. A lost I... A lost I... A lost I...
Professor! Oh my, it's so good to see you. These days, so many old friends seem to be disappearing. But you're here. It's incredible to see you again after 5 years. I have a feeling your name will go down in history. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but... I'm sorry, but... I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Professor? This may seem a bit sudden, but I want to thank you, Professor. That is, for letting me live my life the way I want. I've noticed you've been giving me fewer of those soul-revealing gazes lately. I appreciate you making an effort to not trouble yourself over who I spend my time with. Well, of course. Did you think I wouldn't notice? It's kind of sweet in its own way. Professor, may I tell you a story about when I was younger? I was an orphan, living in the back alleys of Enbar, until one day I was overheard singing. That was when my new life began. I was suddenly a songstress in the Mittelfranc Opera Company. Performers, nobility. I met so many people. But none of them ever really knew me. I was just some young, pretty girl who could sing. A spectacle to be admired. Even though everyone praised my looks and my voice, and they showered me with gifts, I knew one day I'd be old. My looks would fade, my voice would change. I wouldn't sound the same. And I started to wonder, when I did get old, what would I have left? I'd be old, alone, and back on the streets of the capital, right where I'd started. That's sweet of you, even if you are just flirting. I never had much to begin with in life, and I worry that one day I'll be that way again. That's why I keep searching for someone who will love me. Someone unaware of the songsters, who can love a girl that used to be scared and alone on the streets of the capital. I wonder if such a strange person can even exist.
Hey!
A moment, please.
By making an enemy of the church, disorder is running rampant among the populace. It's quieted down over these last 5 years, though. The well-being of Her Majesty is steadily improving.
Welcome.
Come back soon. Welcome. Come back soon.
Hey there. Come back anytime.
What do you require? Farewell.
Hey,
Welcome. Please come again.
Hello there. Return soon, please.
Hey, welcome. Come again.
Professor? Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. What's that? Do I have brothers in the church? You really are well informed. My older twin works for the Knights of Saros, but I think he's just a grunt, not a noble gatekeeper like yours truly. Unlike me, he's very devout. He left the Empire a long time ago.
There were clashes with the Kingdom Army near the Western Front, but this is the first time the Alliance Army has had an honest-to-goodness fight. I hear their leader's pretty competent, but the Alliance Army is pretty tough too.
Hey there. Ah, a new face. I am Randolph von Berglies. I'm the guardian of this place. Wait a moment. I'm sure I've seen you somewhere before. Ah, yes! You're Her Majesty's professor. You're alive? Oh, this is my little sister, Fleisch. She's just a rookie, but she's helping me as my assistant.
Hello, I'm Fleisch von Berglies. It's nice to meet you. I know I'm inexperienced, but I'm gonna do my best. You can count on me to look after my big brother.
I've heard you're planning to march into Alliance territory. I'll be here to guard the fort.
Maybe.
Yep. Hey!
Professor. Thanks for your help out there. Battles tend to go smoother with you around. I think you did most of the heavy lifting. It may be unwise to think this way on the battlefield, but I feel I can trust your commands without question. Not sure. I might have an idea, but never mind. I've also noticed that you've been putting me in more precarious situations lately. Almost like you know I won't question your orders. Huh. I'm glad you trust me to get the job done, but still, I knew you were doing it on purpose. You're in a very important position now that you're leader of the Imperial Army. Funny to think you used to just teach at the Officers' Academy. Your old students still call you Professor. That's no title for the commander of an army. Relax, I was just having fun. You sure are an interesting one. My people lost the war, and I was left to wander Fodlan alone, but I guess meeting you was my prize. You look confused. Did you not know any of this? I was living in my homeland of Dagda up until the Imperial Army destroyed it 10 years ago. But being a mercenary, I have no real allegiance. That's why I'm working here now. Don't worry though, I don't plan to turn on you.
know. Since the great nobles lost their standing, the regulation of the merchant houses has relaxed somewhat. You'd probably have thought that would make it easier for us to profit. But the world isn't so simple. The war has made the price of goods unstable, causing no end of hardship for the people.
I need a favor.
At long last, we meet again. I knew you were alive. I knew you could survive. And 5 years on, you arrive. We're reunited. I'm glad I kept watch for you in the downstream villages all that time. I was so devoted to finding you that I left the Knights of Seros. Now I serve no one other than you. I'll protect you, just as I promised Captain Gerald I would all those years ago.
I've been working here for a few years now. There are plenty of others working here too. Since the acolytes and students aren't here, it's up to us to pick up the slack.
Let me see.
Professor!
Edelgard is controlling the Empire. She is putting the pressure on the Kingdom in alliance. Empire and religion are at open war. It will be difficult for us at first, but corrupt nobles are many. That means the common people will rebel and be joining our side. With you, Professor, the battle tides will turn. I have certainty. This is not belong. This. I had lost.
Heya!
For 5 years, I've fought for the Empire. I've cut down hordes of enemies. Now I have the same look in my eyes that the boar used to have in his. The look of a savage beast who loves nothing but destruction and violence. I can hardly hold it against him anymore. You and Edelgard must not disappoint me. Mark my words. The future you're building had better be worth all this bloodshed. That's...
I fight for justice's name. You are in my way! Not for myself, for everyone. You are in my way! I fight for justice's name. You are in my way! Each battle a victory.
Right.
Professor!
I thought you might be at the monastery. That's why I made my way here. I decided to follow your path because I believed in you. But then you vanished. Now that you've returned, I have my guiding light once again. Welcome back, Professor.
Yeah. All right, I'm ready to fight. Let's do this. You're right. I gotta keep it under control or I'm gonna wear myself out too quickly. Maybe I'll just get rid of a few monsters. Or is that too risky right before a mission? What's that? 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 Yeah.
Professor, please do not be concerned. I just did too much overworking and lost my strength. Yes, I have no problems. Accept my apology for giving you worry. I have sorrow. I am sorry to be fainting at a time like this. Even though I was not asking for your care and attention, you gave it willingly. I am thinking that is incorrect. Will you have a listen to me? There is something that I must be saying. I am thinking you already have knowledge of why I came to Fodlan. Not for studying, but as a hostage for the Empire. So that Bridget would not be rebelling anymore. It feels like a knife against my throat. That I am making my grandfather obey the Empire. Because I am a hostage, it is not an option to be giving up. I must be fighting and winning and staying alive. I must do anything to be making life better for Bridget. To be making Bridget and the Empire stand as equals. That is what my people are wanting from me. And what my grandfather, the King of Bridget, is wanting. My want? I am not knowing of that. The wants of my people are something I have power to achieve. Their wants are my own. What I really want... I have understanding. Wait, no, I actually do not have understanding. Yet. What I am understanding is that there is something I am not understanding. When I know what my true want is, I give you my promise that I will be telling you first.
Hello. The north side of the Great Bridge of Myrden is in the territory of Acheron of the Alliance. He's known as the Weather Vane. He's a notoriously flippant man. A man like that doesn't have the guts to give it all for the defense of that bridge. The north side of the Great Bridge of Myrden is in the territory... He's known as the Weather Vane. A man like that doesn't have the...
What the...
The last 5 years have been difficult at times. My relationship with Edelgard is rather contentious, due to the incident with my father. Nevertheless, I cannot abandon my family's duties. As Duke Aiur, I must play my part in the Imperial Army. Edelgard intends to abolish the nobility, but I know I can dissuade her from doing so. How could you pop? How could you pop? How could you pop? How could...
Within the territories of the Alliance, the Gloucester and Daphnel houses dominate the west. House Gloucester has always supported the Empire. There's not much chance of them defying us. So all that needs to be done to restore peace in the west now is to crush House Daphnel.
Okay.
Pardon me.
A moment, please.
Hi.
Take that! Yes, I am in a hurry. Edelgard claims victory after victory. She never stops. 5 years ago, she ascended the throne and swept away the corrupt nobles, my father included. I always thought I would be the one to unseat him. But she did it instead, with all the ease and indifference of someone cracking an egg. Now, as the head of House Aiur, I serve Edelgard. I have to accept that I am her subordinate, working beneath her to reunify Fodlan. The disparity between Edelgard and myself is obvious. She never stops moving forward, single-minded, never wavering. But where does that leave me? Here, flailing about, going nowhere, contributing nothing. But it is. That is the reality. Not once since our days at the Academy have I exceeded Edelgard's abilities. I saw her as a worthy opponent. She did not even see me as a contender. She did not even consider me at all. As the head of the noble House Aiur, I must be able to achieve results. But all my efforts have come to nothing. Results are everything. I have not shown results, so I will be stagnating here forever. I appreciate your kind words, but you are wrong.
I know that I have a massive wall to climb, and I must climb it alone. Even so, may I ask a favor? Professor, please keep an eye on my progress. I would appreciate if you were always by my side, bearing witness to my accomplishments.
Professor?
Definitely.
What's that look on your face? Surprised to see me? I'm a mercenary. Always have been. Even when I was with the Knights of Saros. I never was too attached to Fodlan. I was considering leaving soon. But I might change my mind if you're around.
Are we leaving for battle? I heard it's a long march. But it's fine. I've had plenty of time to stay inside lately, so I think it's time I went out. Yeah, I can do this. No more Bernie Bear. Yes, but, please don't put me up front, okay? Ugh.
Hey!
Right.
Maybe.
I was so surprised to hear that the faith of Saros was a sham, my eyes nearly popped out of my skull. But just because the church lied to us doesn't mean that the goddess isn't real. That's my take on it anyway. I'd feel very anxious with no one to pray to.
Me?
After the battle 5 years ago, the Imperial Army occupied Garreg Mach. The cathedral and several other buildings were destroyed, but we've done some repair work here and there, and we're using the buildings as a base of operations. As for me, well, the church moved its headquarters to Fargus, and I've seen no reason to follow. When I returned to Enbar, I received a summons from Her Majesty, and I chose to answer.
Professor!
Need something? See you again soon.
Hey!
What? Well...
Professor, I'm sorry to have dragged you into the fight again so soon after our reunion, but you appeared at a most opportune time. I'm truly humbled by your support, my teacher. Thank you. And so I will. I'm hoping your abilities from 5 years prior are still intact. Make sure you're ready to head out, okay? A lost item. How did...
Allow me to brief you on the details of our situation. The Empire firmly controls the western portion of Fargus. However, the central and eastern regions continue to put up heavy resistance. The strongholds in these regions are Aryan Road, the fortress city, and Ferdiad, the kingdom capital. We cannot control Fargus until we have taken both of these cities. As for the Alliance, Houses Gloucester and Ordelia seem predisposed to capitulate to us. However, due to interference from Houses Regan and Goneril, we have yet to secure their cooperation. Claude obviously hopes to keep the Alliance whole through diplomacy. But because we have had to focus our efforts against the Church until now, our forces have yet to meet his. We have only recently begun to take the fight to Alliance territory. I have a request for you. Yes.
Could I trouble you?
Professor, do you know how happy I was to hear you were still alive? I'll tell you how happy. For the past 2 days, I haven't had my morning or my afternoon naps. Yes? That's not... Oh!
Finally joined us, have you? I attached myself to the Imperial Army as well. Seemed the thing to do. I feel I owe it to Edelgard to set my past feelings about the Empire aside. I am happy to help her. It's strange, isn't it? After 5 years, the 3 professors are together once more. I am most curious, though. You say you were asleep for 5 whole years. Incredible. Perhaps this is another effect of your crest. I do look forward to investigating you in greater detail. Wonderful news. I am most excited to begin. We must find the time, of course. I'm not sh- I'm
Hello.
Right. It's normal for history to be revised in favor of those who hold the power. The documents in this library are no exception. It's perfectly possible for someone to have made edits to them. But it's my belief that no one has the power to blot out the truth entirely. I like to read the same texts over and over again. That way, I can spot some of the truths hidden between the lines.
Really? Well...
It seems I am discovered. I suppose that means assassination is out of the question. At least for now. Unusually watchful. Difficult to steal upon in slumber. Perhaps an odorless, tasteless poison. Lady Edelgard certainly took interest in a difficult one this time. I suppose that question does warrant a response, considering it may mean your life. The answer requires me to explain some of the complex internal politics of the Empire. Are you familiar with Volkard von Arundel? He is Lady Edelgard's uncle. You may also know him as Lord Arundel, the Empire's regent. Many years ago, he took Her Majesty and fled to the Kingdom of Fargus. Then after a time, he returned to seize power. Together with former Prime Minister Ire and my father, Lord Arundel rendered Emperor Ionius IX politically impotent. Lady Edelgard is Ionius IX's daughter. I cannot begin to fathom the depth of her sadness at his betrayal. I see something of Lord Arundel in you. When I look at you, I feel I can almost see a second self lurking beneath the surface. It is as if you are in constant dialogue with something inside your heart. Something with desires very different from your own. Does that description feel familiar to you at all? Because to me, you seem unpredictable. As though you could turn traitor at any moment. The more I learn about you, the less I like. I had thought you might be of use to Lady Edelgard, but now I am beginning to think you may, through no fault of your own, present too great a risk. I hope you will prove me wrong, Professor. I would hate for this to come to bloodshed.
Well,